Growing up in the Catholic and Episcopal churches, the only thought I ever had about reincarnation was, oh, that's something those weird Eastern people think about. That was it. Dismissed. Father Richard Rohr, a Franciscan priest who is a very popular spiritual teacher and speaker, spoke once about his scale of spiritual development. He said it was his own arbitrary model made up of 10 levels. Paraphrasing him, I understood most of the mainstream Western culture to be on levels 2 and 3. Level 4 is the biggest jump because at that level, you realize God to be a part of you and all creation, all being one, rather than an entity outside of you. Progress accelerates rapidly from that level 4 on the scale because it's the biggest paradigm shift. I don't remember the makeup of each level, but what struck me is that depending on where you are on the scale, you can understand the levels below you because you were there at one time. But you can't see or acknowledge anything above you because you have no experience or understanding of that. You simply discount it as ridiculous and you ignore it. On the subject of reincarnation, I saw myself clearly in that statement. As a teenager, reincarnation held no relevance for me whatsoever, and it therefore deserved not one moment of my consideration. But once I started on my spiritual path, it became obvious to me that reincarnation was not only a thing, it was the only thing that made sense to me. When I was a child, I decided religion was pretty stupid because it didn't even try to answer for me life's important questions, like why are some people born into poverty and some not? Some white and some black, some powerful and some powerless, some handicapped and some able-bodied, some living in peace and some in war. Some live a day and some live 100 years. I could never believe God favored some of his children over others. I never doubted that God was pure love. So how could I reconcile all this unfairness and injustice? Well, hey, if I had been born over and over, and I had been male and female, black and white, poor and rich, a soldier who killed and or tortured others, a criminal, a beggar, a handicapped person, powerful and abusive, a slave, then that explained a lot. Not everything, but a lot. In the 3rd grade at public school, we got to sing, which I loved. We learned America the Beautiful, and You're a Grand Old Flag, and the Battle Hymn of the Republic. They filled me with pride as I took on the feeling that I was an American, superior to the rest of the world. But in the years to come, when I thought of our forefathers who bravely escaped the tyranny of English rule to establish the land of the free, what about the Native American people, whom those settlers and their descendants not only robbed of their freedom, but decimated? When I learned of slavery in the 4th grade, I felt sick to my stomach. I didn't understand. How could human beings kill, torture, and enslave one another? Yet no one talked about these horrors. Rather than America being exclusively the land of the brave, I didn't know why we weren't also overwhelmed with shame. While learning more about reincarnation and older souls and younger souls and their characteristics, more puzzle pieces clicked into place. I am an older soul who has experienced lives on both sides of all these issues. As an older soul, I came into this world understanding the futility and toxicity of war and violence and domination over others. But younger souls don't have that experience yet. So pride and defense against and fear of those unlike themselves rule their thinking and actions. But because I have also been ruled by fear for many, many lifetimes, I can understand and have compassion for those younger souls. Again, my favorite new definition of compassion by Michael Beckwith is understanding for those who lack understanding. Reincarnation has probably been the single most influential concept that helped me make sense of why life is as it is on planet Earth. Granted, not all souls look at, understand, or experience reincarnation in this same way. As we've discussed in related topics before, such as the variety of after-death experiences, we are creators. As creators, we generate our experience based on our thoughts, beliefs, and expectations. In any case, reincarnation informs me as to why some of us prize peace and unity so highly, and why some cling to fear and separation. Reincarnation explains why we come into this life with different proclivities, understandings, purposes, gifts, and intentions. Any of us interested in these types of topics are assuredly older souls. We can be of great benefit to the younger set when we model for them how to shine that divine.